Welcome to the first full-length episode of Art I Like. Today I want to talk about the legendary painter Lucian Freud. I tend to prefer artists who have a large range, tackling different mediums and concepts, but Lucian Freud is someone who does one thing and does it very well. He was a portrait painter who always painted from life and was known for his very intimate, personal approach to depicting his subjects. Portraiture is one of the more subtle art forms. It's about saying a lot with a little. Every skilled portrait artist has a different approach, and every portrait says something about its subject. It may just be a painting of a face or a body, but the details the artist decides to focus on, the pose, the colors, the lighting, all communicate something about this person. Take a look at Michelle Obama's official portrait by Amy Sherald. Looking at the painting, I think it's pretty obvious that the artist thought pretty highly of her. Now, compare this to Bill Clinton's portrait by Nelson Shanks. It has this ominous shadow in the background. The artist has since stated that it is the shadow of a blue dress. If you were alive in the 90s, you probably get that reference. For my Gen Z viewers, go ask your parents. Or maybe don't. There's no one way to paint a person, and artistic expression is never neutral. Anyone who creates an image is also creating a narrative. Even photographers make a lot of subtle choices that can change how you see a person. One example of this is Migrant Mother by the photographer Dorothy Lang. It's a defining image of the Great Depression, but it was just one of a series of photos. And even though they were probably taken minutes apart from each other, they each say something slightly different. Like all good artists, Freud also had a unique approach to painting. His portraits took a long time and showed incredible attention to detail. Lucian Freud's subjects range from everyday people to artists to performers and even the Queen of England. Most portrait artists idealize their subjects to some extent. I would consider Freud an exception. His paintings faithfully preserve every wrinkle, line, bulge, and crooked feature. His portraits are almost exclusively constructed from the little details most artists would gloss over or edit out. The people in these paintings don't have the physiques of Greek gods. They aren't made of marble. They are made of flesh and blood and have all of the flaws that come with it. The way I'm describing these paintings might sound harsh, but I don't think that this way of depicting people is cruel. It's just honest. For better or worse, we are largely defined by our rough edges. I think that perfection is generic. It's boring. It lacks identity. Our so-called imperfections say a lot more about us. They tell a story. Every scar, every line on our face, every odd mannerism or quirk in our posture is the result of who we are and how we've lived our lives, the things we've been through, both good and bad. These images aren't aspirational or inspirational. They are an unnerving depiction of these people's humanity, stripped of their clothes, their money, and all the other status symbols people hide behind. There's an odd sense of equality among his subjects. He often won't even share the model's name in the title. I think it's no coincidence that Lucian Freud is the grandson of Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis. In fact, when you hear his models discuss working with Lucian Freud, the process of making the painting itself seems like some form of psychoanalysis. But the person he viewed through the most analytical lens was himself. His self-portraits are some of my favorite paintings that he did. They are raw and have so much intensity and character to them. This just makes it all the more ironic that the man who painted these almost invasively intimate portraits didn't seem to like to draw a lot of attention to himself. Interviews and video footage are few and far between, and in the videos I could find of him, he honestly seems a little uncomfortable in front of the camera. He made very few official public appearances, and didn't even seem to like being photographed. Of course, everyone has the right to privacy, and famous artists don't owe the public their time. I just think it's an interesting contradiction. I suppose when you can paint like he can paint, the work just speaks for itself. Thank you for watching this first full episode. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe. It is a huge help to the channel. The music for today's video was very kindly provided by my very talented friend Hunter Brown. If you want to hear more of his music, you can follow the link in the description below to find a full album. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.